Hello VC. Had a few records come in the last couple weeks, so I thought I would make a quick video and just show what I received. We're going to start off with an album. It's sort of like psychedelic type album, and this is the Internal Tapestry. So that album originally came out in 2011. Obviously, that's a reissue, and I would sort of classify that as almost like a laid-back sound, psychedelic sound, the type of music you want to put on when you kick back in your favorite chair with a bag of mushrooms and just want to chill out. That's a good album to have playing. The next album is one I picked up from, it's the Dolly rocker movement, and this was originally released in 2007, and first time I saw it I thought it was a new release, but no, this has been released a long time ago.
1, 2, 3, 5.
So of course that's sort of almost part of it's like garagey rock, some of it's psychedelic rock. Pretty consistent sound with the album I bought from them previously, which I showed a couple videos back. Very good album. This next album is a double album, and it's a release from 2019.
We don't feel, we got love the music, love the music. Don't feel, we don't feel, we got love the music, love the music.
Suit yourself, you don't need the truth, only something new. It's the children that we lose, just your government. We consume to medicate, playing victims of fate. It's the children that we lose, just your government.
So of course that's sort of a little bit electronic rock, maybe trip hop in some parts as well. Again, a sort of consistent sound with the previous album that they had released. One thing I'd say on my copy anyways, my pressing, is the quality of the music is excellent in terms of like the engineering, the mastering, fantastic dynamic range. Unfortunately, that transparent vinyl, the quality of the vinyl is not very good. We're picking up vinyl noise in some parts. Not so much snap, crackle, pop, but like maybe the background hiss. And it's not consistent. It comes and goes. But overall, a very good album. This next artist, I don't know how I discovered her. I've never heard of her before. Somehow came across her, probably a suggested video in YouTube. Listened to it and I said, yeah, that's quirky enough for pique my interest. And this is an album that I think originally came out in 1984, I believe it is. Quite a while ago.
Tu aimes tellement la vie. Quel est donc ce froid que l'on sent en toi? Mais c'est l'amour qui t'a assassiné, Mathia. C'est l'amour qui t'a consumé, Mathia. C'est le cancer que tu remplis sous ton bras. Maintenant, tu es ensemble, ensemble, amour. C'est comme une chose impossible. Demande-toi qui est forte comme une fusée. Et même à toi qui est la vie, mais Mathia, c'est l'amour qui t'a emmené. Mathia, danse un peu chinois.
So obviously that's a new release, remastered. And I sort of classify that a little bit of pop, rock, synth rock, a little touch of new wave, a little bit of everything. A little bit of Latin style music in there. Quite an interesting album. Worth checking out if you like looking for something that sounds a little bit different. This next album is actually one that was shown in a recent video by Vinyl Richie. So this is 2 videos in a row now that I've made where I picked up an album suggested by Vinyl Richie. I think on the previous video I made, it was Vampira, was one suggested by Vinyl Richie. And then this one is Death Valley Girls. Love that vinyl color. It's fantastic. And on my pressing, at least, the sound quality is excellent. So I guess you can get some good sound quality from vinyl pressing. So I've ordered 2 more Death Valley Girl albums, and they'll probably come in the next couple of weeks. So that's 2 videos in a row where I've shown the Vinyl Richie record. So obviously Vinyl Richie is becoming an influencer. And actually this last one that I'll show today was originally shown on the VC by Eric Weinbender. And he showed this one a couple of months ago. And I listened to it on YouTube. I said, well, that's pretty quirky too. That's right up my alley. And so I ordered a copy for myself. 1995. And of course, again, that's a as well. And a little bit of everything on that. So like I say, a bit of a quirky album, a little bit of trip hop and indie pop, down tempos. And one description I read online, like the music is right out of left field. So yeah, and that pretty much sums it up. So those are the records I have come in the last couple of weeks. One thing that was a little bit different in this video is that typically I show mostly neo-psych albums. And I have a lot of neo-psych albums on order. Some of these orders are going back to almost a year ago. And the albums are still not pressed. Albums that I should have received in November are still not pressed. And I guess it's a situation where it's these distributors, some in North America, a bunch more in Europe, that distribute these particular bands, and their pressings are usually 300 copies, 400. So I guess they're given very low priority at the pressing plants because the orders are so small. But it was that when I started getting into this music 4 years ago, I go to these sites that distribute the music, and the records would be available when you purchase it, and they ship it the next day. Then I noticed about almost 2 years ago where the albums were up for sale, but it was a pre-sale, and that the albums would ship about 3 months down the road. And that was okay too. But in the past year, I've been noticing albums for sale, and it's a pre-sale, and they're saying the album will not ship for another 6 months. And I'm going, why the hell put something up for sale when it won't be available for another 6 months or more? There's one I just a couple of weeks ago I listened to, and I said, oh, that sounds pretty good. I think I'll maybe order that. And then I read that it wouldn't be pressed until January of 2023. And the way things are going, that's probably more likely going to be January 2024. So I started to make the decision as I scan the records that are up for sale on a lot of these sites, that if the record does not yet physically exist, it's a pre-sale, I'm probably not going to order it. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to wait till the record is actually physically pressed and available, which means that in a lot of cases I'm going to miss out on records because a number of records that I've bought have sold out on the pre-sale. So my thinking is that if they sell out on a pre-sale, there'll probably be a second pressing at some point down the road. But it's becoming a joke now where you order a record and like 10 months later you still don't have the record because it doesn't even physically exist. And it's hard to keep track. You've got like 7, 8, 9 orders out there from 8, 9 months ago. You begin to forget about them. You don't even know what you've ordered. So I think going forward, pretty much just gonna order what's immediately available. That probably means the number of records I'm going to get is going to go down quite a bit. But I think that's the approach I'm going to take. Anyways, that's my little rant for today. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.